everybody, this is Miss Kent with today's number talk. We've been talking about the power of 10 or using 10 when we multiply and how it can be helpful. We've talked about how it's helpful with multiplying 7, 8, 9 and really anything past 10 like 11, 12, 13 and numbers above that. But today we're going to talk about a little bit different use of the power of 10 or using 10 to multiply. So here's our first equation, 10 times 6. If you need to stop the video for a moment, stop it so you can figure this problem out.
From the same box. You get to play it.
Thank you. Okay, the answer is 60. And most of you probably just knew that 6 tens would be 60. If you had 6 tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, I hope no one had to count by sixes because that would not be very efficient. Let's look at another problem and see if 10 times 6 might help us solve this one. If you need to stop your video now and work it out, you can. Okay, and most of you probably knew this one as 30. And you probably knew it because you could count by fives or you knew your fives tables. So some of you might have actually had to count by 5 6 times, like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Hopefully most of you just kind of knew that one by memory, because at this point, using a number line to multiply is not very efficient. Now, how could these two equations be related? And when I say related, how could I use one of those equations that the answer came to me really quick to help solve the other one? Stop your video now and see if you can figure out how these two equations might be related or helpful to each other. I hope you had a little bit of time to think about that, and I'm not going to tell you yet how they can be related. I want to go through another set of these problems to see if those of you that are still a little confused might be able to figure out how they're related. So let's look at another equation. Ten times 4, if you need to stop your video now and work this out, remember we're working on mental math, not pencil and paper. Most of you know that 10 times 4 is the same as 4 tens. So 4 tens would be 40. Now I hope you didn't have to count 10, 20, 30, 40. You should think about 4 groups of tens being 40. Here's the next problem. Five multiplied by 4. If you need to stop the video and think about this, think about it for a moment. What would your answer be? Try to use mental math. Now, a lot of you might have known this fact very quickly and known that the answer was 20. Now, some of you might have still had to say 5, 10, 15, 20. Skip counting to figure that out. But let me think of this. We've talked a lot in our classroom about doubling and halving. What's half of 40? That would be 20. Okay. Is there another number up here that's been halved? That's right. In this equation, the 10 was halved to become a 5. So if I know 10 times 4 is 40 and 5 is half of 4, then my answer is going to be half of 40, which will be 20. Let's do this with one more equation. whoa. Maybe I gave it away a little bit when I wrote that up there. Use your mental math to try to solve this equation. If you need to stop the video, please do that now. If you were thinking mental math and you thought, oh, 10 times 8 is 80, 5 is half of 10, so if I half 80, I'm going to get 40. 5 times 8 is 40. I want you to try to use this strategy today or the next time that you're working with multiplication facts. You can use the power of 10 and use halving and doubling with this strategy